I got your sex, yeah, this life that we live ain't just words that we say, it's the weight that we give. Crayon Box Confessions, judgment free, don't pretend. Tell your story right here, we don't break, we don't bend. Everything happens for a reason, they say. Even pain got a purpose, even night finds a day. You ain't fighting alone, yeah, we stand to the end. I got your six, yeah, I got you, my friend. 97, young Jimmy laced up his boots with a mission. Never knew that his path would be written in fire and friction. Ramadi rose with attention, thick every second to gamble. 04 IED blast, wounded a Marine with blasting shrapnel, dust in the lungs. Heartbeat racing, vision blurred from the shock. Life changed in the moment when the world just stopped. Lost parts of himself, but not the fight, that's a different condition. You can break down flesh, but you can't kill the mission. I got your sex, yeah, this life that we live ain't just words that we say, it's the weight that we give. Crayon Box Confessions, judgment free, don't pretend. Tell your story right here, we don't break, we don't bend. Yeah, Walter Reed trying to piece back a life from the wreckage. VA hospital halls with a broken, learn strength in the pressure. That's what Beth walked in, yeah, fate in disguise. Crayon Eater's wife, but she saw through the eyes. Not the scars, not the past, not the war that he lived. Saw a man still standing with a life left to give. He said, you saved me, she said we saved each other. Built a life from the pain, raised three together, father and mother. Years turn to purpose, every story gets told. Now they open that door so nobody walks alone. War took pieces, love gave them back. Pain made the wound, purpose filled the crack. Silence will kill you, truth brings you home. You ain't gotta carry that weight alone. I got your six, this ain't a slogan, it's a last. From the war to the healing, we don't ever back down. Crayon Box Confessions, judgment free, let it out now. Tell your story, yeah, your voice matters, pal. Everything happens for a reason, we see. Even broken roads lead to who we can be. You ain't fighting alone, yeah, we stand to the end. I got your six, yeah, I got you, my friend.
Hey guys, welcome to this Crayon Eater's Box Confessions. My name is Beth King, also known as your Crayon Eater's wife, 1775. It's going to be one of those nights again.
And I'm Jimmy, your one-legged wonder.
Yes.
The guy with the head injury, but also the one with the memory. Thank you for joining us on the show. Hopefully, we've got a few people that have already logged in. For anybody who has logged in, if you could highlight in the comments, let people know we're out here putting a show on for you, spreading out some information and trying to put a smile on your face would be greatly appreciated. Got a great show planned for you tonight. First time guest on Crayon Box Confessions. Second time guest, so to speak, or returning guest for Beth and I as hosts of a show. Daniel and David Watson. Or wait, no, Daniel and James Watson.
James Watson.
Sorry, I'm reading the screen.
You read that. That's what it was. It threw you off.
Anyway, gentlemen, how y'all doing tonight?
Great.
Thank you for coming back on the show. Super excited to pass on the word.
We got a chance to interview them before their book was released, and now we've got their newly released book. We've been able to read it, and it was awesome, guys. But first, let's talk about who you are. You both, if nobody doesn't know, these are twins. And they're amazing, two amazing brothers who wrote a book, The VOIDRUNNER. And we also are veterans, so I'd love to hear about your, where you grew up in your military career.
Okay.
Who wants to go first?
James does.
James.
I volunteer him.
James had an eye injury, guys, so he is not happy. Oh, wait, you're on mute, sweetheart.
Can't hear you, bro. It's It's a little Mikey thing, buddy.
Yeah, down at the bottom.
Uh-oh.
Okay. While he's figuring that out, go ahead, Daniel.
Okay. Well, we're from
We'll
a
get him
little
settled.
town in Oklahoma, and we both joined the military right out of high school. Actually, David joined before we got out of high school.
Oh, wow.
But as a matter of fact, he went to boot camp in between summer of junior year and senior year.
Did he go get his GED, or is this, you know?
No, it just you can actually back then you could
You did.
actually come back and finish your senior year.
Okay.
So
Really cool. I never knew about that.
But
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
when I got out of high school, I went into the Marine Corps. So in 1987, which is a little while ago now, but spent 6 years in the Marine Corps. I was an intelligence analyst in the Marine Corps.
Nice.
That was pretty interesting.
I bet.
Did a
So you studied all the colors in the crayon box.
say again?
You studied all the colors in the crayon box.
I did, and I also know what flavors they are. Which ones, they all really are low calorie, no fat, so that's good. Yeah, I got to travel a good bit. It was interesting. There was a lot more to the Marine Corps than just doing the things the Marine Corps does, which is fight America's enemies and
Right.
make them fear us, which is what they should do. If recent events have told us anything, they certainly should do that, or the bare minimum, really think very hard before they decide that we're the ones that they want to engage with. The U.S. military in general, just the best equipped, the most experienced, the best trained, just on the earth. Hey, those guys are they're top notch, and we think about them every day, and pray for their safe return and their back to their families here in the States, or wherever they're at in harm's way, which is pretty much every corner of the globe. So, but I loved the Marine Corps. It was a fantastic experience for me, and I had the opportunity to get a good education because of the GI Bill. So I was grateful for that.
And you went into law enforcement, right?
I did. I'm a retired police officer. I spent 25 years in law enforcement, and
Very nice. We had a long talk about that the other night.
Yeah, it's certainly it affects me every day. I mean, I think about it every day.
I'm sure.
I think about those guys and gals that are out there continuing to do it every day, and put their lives on the line, much like what happened last night here. With the event with the White House press, whatever meeting it was, when
I wasn't sure because there was also two officers that got shot I think in Illinois.
In Chicago,
Chicago, yeah.
At a hospital.
So when you first said that, I wasn't sure which one you were talking about. But yeah.
Unfortunately, it happens way too often. But of course, our prayers for the family of the Chicago police officer that was killed, and the other one that was injured. I don't know really anything about it, nor do I know very much about what happened at the correspondence dinner thing. But
I think it says something, because I think when you're in the military and you go to war or you go to foreign countries, there's a way to kind of distance yourself still from that. You know what I mean? But when you're a police officer and it's happening in your own community, down the street, family, friends, it hits different to me. To me, I feel like it does, and I feel like that should even be more reason for there to be more not only transparency but also more help available, so, as far as like therapy and stuff for police officers without fear of losing their job.
One second. Sorry, James, did I hear some noise coming from your side?
I did. James?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, your mic's working. Right. You're back up.
All right, now we can carry on. I just wanted to make sure that I was My
I can
hearing
hear
is
little
weird, so-
movements.
Well, what I was gonna say, Beth, is that the primary difference is when you go overseas and you're in a theater of operation or whatever, you get to come home, you get to take your pack off, and kind
Right.
of come back to the world, so to speak. And as
There's
a
a
police officer,
downtime. There's a good amount of downtime for people who go off to war, and like you said, come home. There's that downtime
agreed.
that police officers, like you're saying, don't get.
No, they don't. I mean, every time you go outside your house, you're in your theater of operation. It follows you everywhere you go.
Yeah.
You may go to a Walmart and run into 12 people you've arrested, or
You're
arrested.
telling me. Yeah, like
weird thing.
you've been married for years and you still have people come up to you.
All right, real quick. Tish Tucker, Jamie High, Cam Goodhoe, Carolyn Douglas. Where's the other ones here? Shellback Smitty, Theo. Thank y'all for joining us. Just wanted to give a quick shout and say hi. James, you want to give us a quick rundown on the background there?
Sure. I mean, it's not like we went to school with a lot of people. There were only 9 of us.
Oh wow, you're like Jimmy. He had a very small class as well. Not that small, but small.
I mean, not a lot of women either. Not a lot of dating going on. Not liking downrange with the goats. But anyway, I was in the army for 32 years. I was a command sergeant major. Did a bunch of deployments. And I'm an infantry dude. I like being an infantry guy. Everybody says the dumbest people go in the infantry. I beg to differ.
That is not true.
That's right, because we're not
People
interested
think that
in women.
he's dumb, and they are sorely mistaken. He's
My
extremely
favorite
dumb.
saying is, "Don't ask me. I'm just a dumb grunt."
Yeah,
There you
he
go.
likes to pretend dumb.
I like it when people underestimate me.
Mhm.
and that's what you do. You don't let people get up on you by that. You go, okay, whatever. It's like
Mhm.
reading and writing wasn't a big thing back when I first joined the army, but especially in the infantry. But it afforded me the opportunity to get a bachelor's degree and a master's degree, and then be able to send my youngest 2 daughters to school and not have
That's
to pay for it.
amazing.
So, that's a big plus. Right now, after this book, I've written 3 books for Walter Reed about post-traumatic stress. And that seems
Yeah,
to be
congratulations on that. That's awesome. And also, what about the poetry?
well, that's the thing. It's all poetry, and it takes you from,
Yes,
the
love
4 different levels of, when you first join, what it's like when you get into that first duty station, what it's like when you go to war, and what it's like not only for you but for your family when you come back.
You don't know how much I enjoyed reading your work, and what an honor I felt for you allowing me to read your work before it was published. And I just want to say I do notice and miss it. But that's all I'm going to say about that.
I got to tell you, believe it or not, as I was reading through them today, a bunch of them sounded like country songs, so I wrote a bunch of country songs.
All right.
So-
I mean, you're going full circle with the
So
using with what we believe in and healing through laughter, using the arts to heal you, whether it's writing, singing, and now you've got writing a song. I love it.
I have a question. David, I have a question. If you play the song backwards, do they get their stuff back?
I don't think so. I
Does
mean,
their wife come back? Does the
It
dog
gives
come
you,
back?
it gives you the magic code of the meds.
it won't even give Jimmy his leg back.
Oh.
Dude, that was too much too soon.
Not in infantry land.
How long? Okay, we've hit 14 minutes. Can you give
Yeah,
me my,
yeah.
Can I give me my testicle back too?
Ouch, I didn't know that. You can get a Teflon nut. I had a buddy with that.
They did not offer him that.
Yeah, they didn't offer me that.
like-
So, instead of one leg wonder, it can be one nut wonder or uniball extraordinary or something.
he's,
I don't think now's the appropriate time for the Kevlar nut story, Dave.
Doesn't that leave you rather unbalanced?
Well, he's only got one leg. He's got great balance, so I doubt that's even a thing.
A woman wouldn't know.
What kind of balance he was talking about?
There you go. But talking about
He's
the book,
great at that too.
you read the book completely
Jimmy's
already?
actually just a few chapters short, so like he doesn't want to know like the complete ending because he doesn't want to spoil it. He's
Yeah, I was into it and read myself into a headache once or twice already, just because I didn't want to put it down. But still trying to get used to having to put the old man eyes on.
Yeah, he's just got new glasses.
I
from
just
the
got new
VA.
glasses, and they really do help out. But I'm not used to wearing them, so after a while, it's like, okay, I need to take them off and let my eyes relax for a little bit.
Yeah. But he's like I said, he's only got a few more chapters.
The thing is about any of this stuff with the podcast or writing or anything,
Mm-hmm.
veterans don't need to pigeonhole themselves in. You're retired. You don't do anything else. You may you do whatever to get by or whatever. But we have a lot more to offer than just what we did in the military. We offer
Right.
and
I've met some of the most amazing, most talented people that are generally either in the military or veterans, and it's been an honor and a pleasure. Like you get so many more life experiences because of the traveling and because you meet different people. So I think most people in the military are very well rounded. I said that with a straight face. I'm sorry. No, but you guys, you really, you impress me, and I admire that you use these things to share with others and to help others heal, like you're doing with the Walter Reed and the poetry. Walter Reed obviously has a special place in Jimmy and I's heart because that's where we met, and where he was, originally went when he was injured. So to be able to help those guys, it's truly touching, and I know it helps you writing it too.
definitely. I mean, I don't know how long you were at Walter Reed, but I was there for about 2.5 years. And
Yep. Well, the first time, it depends on which time you ask. We actually had to go a couple of times because Jimmy kept having revisions done. He kept losing a couple inches. And for the longest time, we lived there for 2 years the first time. And then the second round, we had an apartment in Chesterfield, but because the Richmond VA sucks, I ain't gonna say no other way to say it. I didn't trust him going under the knife. We went back to Walter Reed. So we were there for almost 2.5 years because I got cancer then too.
oh wow,
So we got stuck there for a longer period of time. So we ended up having an apartment for like 3 years that we called our oversized storage unit. Or overpriced storage unit. That's what it was. Overpriced.
Yeah, she got cancer, and we stuck around Walter Reed and ended up moving up there, and then
Yep.
got another form of cancer called working downtown DC. Sorry, that was cancer.
That was a bad joke. It was good, but it was bad. Okay. Go ahead. Jimmy's not winning tonight.
I gotta have some more liquid crayons.
Yes. So I really want to know, like, what was the process? I'm so interested in how you guys collaborated to write this book. Like, did you pick certain characters that you wrote for? Was it like, how did the creativity work with working with two of you?
Well,
go
ahead, Dave.
No, not me, man. You go ahead.
Well, technically, we share the same brain. So, I mean, it's not that far a trip for collaboration. We've shared pretty much every experience in our entire. We've drawn every breath, almost, depending upon how many times David was holding his breath for nefarious reasons or not. Who knows? But the whole point I'm making is that we pretty much grew up, had the same experiences, and we drew a lot of what comes from the book. From
Well, that was
especially-
one of the things I definitely wanted you guys to point out was that even though it is a sci-fi book, this is very much your life experiences with a twist.
Yep. It's like, what would you do? What would you do if you could? What would you do if you had another chance to be young again? What would you do if
Yeah.
you had another chance to have, one more, or continue to fight for the, the forces of good or whatever, and, kind of know why you're fighting, knowing what you're fighting for, because a lot of times, in the military, and David can, certainly attest to this, we go where we're told, we do what we're told.
Right.
And it's not like we don't think, because, they think that military people are robots and they don't think about, oh, go here, kill this, blow that up. That's not how it works. I mean, there's a lot more to it than that. And I'm sure that at least 3 of the people on this right now can attest to that 100%. And as much as I'm patriotic, I have the U.S. flag tattooed all the way up to my shoulder. I got it on my heart, no doubt, as I'm absolutely a patriot.
Absolutely.
But at the end of the day, when you're there, and it's the same thing in law enforcement too, you're not fighting for a cause. You're fighting for the person beside you.
Yes.
That's
exactly.
And imagine this, if you can. Imagine somebody who's been with you your whole life, every single day. And, what would you do for them?
Right.
And that's kind of the whole twin thing there. People think they understand, but, unless you have a twin, you don't understand. And, twins are so similar, yet so different. And that's certainly part of the book is understanding, that although that they're basically genetic copies of one another, they're so very, very different in how they cope with things and how they, learn how to, continue to make one step, take another step forward. One of the things in the book that I really, I thought about a long time, and me and David had talked about it a good bit, was just the development of the personality of the 2 twins, and how the one twin, the only way that you could get him to come out of his house, to really expose himself to, anything, was to say, hey, I've got to go help my twin. And that's a powerful motivator to have.
I've heard that before from twins is that it's a gut pull. I've heard it explained a couple of different ways, but it's like a gut pull, or to the point where, or somebody's gets actually sick, and they just have this feeling deep down in their core that something's going on with their twin. I think I asked that you guys, have you ever known when he was hurt or anything like that? I think I asked you guys that last time.
Oh yeah, when David got wounded in Somalia,
Mm-hmm.
I knew it before they ever called. Hey, this I knew that something was wrong, and it's it's a weird thing, but it's
no, and I truly believe it. I mean, I can only imagine with
that's
twins,
how it works.
I truly do believe that. I can only imagine, with twins, I personally, if there's times where I get a gut feeling about somebody that I just need to reach out to them, whether it's I've connected the dots in my head subconsciously that I haven't seen them around or heard from them, or something seems off. I get that. So I can only imagine, as a twin and being that close, how intense and strong that connection can be. Or that feeling can be. Have you had a similar experience, David?
I don't think he ever got hurt.
Well, there's a good thing there.
I mean, I can tell, when he's feeling depressed and stuff like that, I can tell that.
Yeah.
Call him, say, what's your problem or whatever. Stick my
And is
finger
he
in
the
his eye.
one person who can pull you out? And vice versa, pull you out of that depression, or shake you sometimes? Are you those people for each other?
I think a lot of the times we are. I mean, the way we grew up was pretty different. Well,
Yeah.
it was pretty crappy, and some of the book talks about that. And that whole part of the first of the book is to help define, no matter how you grew up and how bad things are at home. You're sitting in the back of the country square, and your mom gives you a $1 food stamp to all these damn kids and sends you in the store to buy 2-cent gum so you can come back and give her the change so she can buy her some booze. That's not the best way to get raised. You know what I mean?
No, I do remember your childhood. It's horrible.
But you know what? If you didn't learn anything, you got to be positive about it.
Yes.
I have 4 daughters. They're all educated. They all got their own job.
You made sure you did better by yours.
Oh, hell yeah. The problem is, the thing is that I wanted my kids to be able to support themselves. If they did get married or whatever, and I had to put their husband on the back of a milk carton, they could still be able to support themselves. You know what I'm saying?
I like how you slid that in there.
And I'm violent by trade, but actually I'm violent by nature too. But I mean, you learn to temper your violence. You know what I'm saying? Especially in a society where people think that they can say anything to anyone with absolutely no consequences of the stuff that comes out of their mouth. And
oh yeah,
it's like insane. Social media, same thing. Anybody can be a big bad 6'7", 300-pound muscle bound guy talking on the internet, and at home he's a fat guy living in his mom's basement and his space is all covered in zits. That's the thing. And I don't watch TV.
That's
I don't
very
watch
true.
the news. I don't watch the news because it makes me angry and I want to break stuff. So
that was Jimmy for the longest time. I mean, still Jimmy. Jimmy, I can't tell you the last time he literally sat down and watched the news unless, I think he watched it when everything happened when we pulled out of Iraq. And I think that was the first time in probably 15 years and the last time he's actually watched the news because he feels the same way.
Yeah.
And that was freaking miserable for me. It was even more miserable when we pulled out of Afghanistan. Because I knew I spent time there. I knew what was at stake, and I just didn't like the way that it went down. And
no, and that's what I meant. I meant Afghanistan is what I was referring to.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, I got it. We live in a very complicated world, and the thing that makes our world complicated is stupid people.
Yes. Jimmy always says common sense isn't common anymore.
Nope. They say you can't fix stupid, but you can kill it.
Or muffle it with duct tape.
Yeah.
There you go. That's more my style,
We sent it back and forth the book. He'd write, a couple chapters. We'd talk about it, and he'd like, hey, we need to add a different kind of character, something to compliment.
Now, and your characters kind of mimic people
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to put out any secrets. Is there anybody that doesn't know that they're in your book that you'd like to say this character was written after you?
Actually, the guy that's a maniac was written after me, but
right. I'm thinking side character, like somebody who doesn't know that they had a book written after them.
There you go.
Or a whole character.
I think the greatest addition to the book from my part was the animals. And it's because I have a deep love for animals, you know what I mean? Especially dogs.
Yeah.
Because, dogs don't screw each other over. They're just animals, and they can think and they can feel, and however you feel that day, they
mimic.
And they mimic you, and, my dog, he'd come up, if I'm feeling bad or whatever, put his chin on my leg and look at me like I'm stupid and say, hey, throw me something or whatever. And I feel better. You know what I mean? I feel better. So that's kind of
how they say dogs, resemble their owners. I never realized it until Jimmy and I had our dogs. I mean, one, they hump all the time. So she's humping his leg, he's humping her leg. It's just insane. But mostly they like to tease each other when they're not doing it. They always fight over one ball.
And there's like 20 of them. Yeah.
So it's just like Jimmy and I. But no, it wasn't until I got that dog that I also had realized that connection that you can have with a dog, that one connection that brings you calm and peace, that, you know, when you're in those low moments, like my dog, you know, was really there for me. And really the best thing when I was going through a real bad depression at one point when we were in Texas, and if it wasn't for that dog, I don't know if I would have made it through that year there. So I'm so grateful Jimmy found him.
And that's the thing. My dogs, you know, I found them, or they wandered up to the house, or one of the kids I coached skeet and trap at the high school, one of those guys, you know, found this big, angry, orange-looking dog and said, "Hey, you want this dog?" Sure. You know, he's got golden eyes. He weighs 75 pounds, and he's about 18 months old, and he is a raving lunatic. But I love him. You know what I mean? Dogs reciprocate. Like for me, I have high blood pressure because I get a little angry, but my blood pressure drops significantly when I'm out there petting the dog or playing with the dog or hanging out with them. It just does.
It's amazing because like Jimmy, he you know, doesn't really show like normal symptoms of PTSD. He has more nightmares than anything. And I've been hit, punched. I've been hit, I've been punched, and I had to learn not to touch him when he had those moments. And we ended up getting a dog that he was training to be a service dog, and the dog would just put his head on his hand or somewhere on the bed right next to him. And immediately Jimmy would stop. He would stop the thrashing. He would chill out, relax, and almost curl up like a baby with him. And it was really, it showed those moments, even having animals my entire life, those type of moments showed me that how powerful these connections are and how important they are for especially veterans who do have PTSD.
I am going to have to interrupt everything as far as that goes. I've been trying to
I know, but we have so much fun when they come on.
Yes, we do. Not going to cut the show. Just got to cut the commercial for a minute. Pay some bills. And now I've forgot where I was at and which one I was going to do first. Oh yeah. So for those of you who need some extra energy and are tired of the sugar crash from Monsters or Red Bulls or the plethora of other energy drinks out there, you got to check out Omeza. They've got 3 different flavors, and it's 100% all natural as far as it goes. You get the energy without the sugary crash. All the flavors are pretty good. I personally am one that I like the strawberry kiwi, then the peach, and then the original.
I'm grapefruit, peach, and strawberry.
Yeah, Beth likes them in just the opposite order as far as it goes. But all of them are really good. Like I said, they're all natural, and it's a healthier energy as far as it goes. So check them out. Shopamazon.com. For the website, use what was the promo code again?
CEW 1775.
And you'll get a nice little discount.
And I'll put that in the comments too for you guys.
And you have to forgive me here because this is a new little script that we're trying out for our other sponsor. You've got the vision, but do you have the structure to win? RTS builds businesses the right way, from the ground up. Organization formation, compliance, and systems that keep you protected and ready to scale. They craft your brand, marketing, design, websites, even podcasting, so your message hits and sticks. I said message hits and sticks.
I don't know what that meant.
And when you're ready to level up, RTS positions you for government contracting opportunities that most never access. This isn't guesswork. This is execution. So if you're serious about building something real, RTS is your edge. RTS, built for those who move with purpose. I will get that down eventually one of these days. Not actually have to sit here and read it, but on my own words, as far as it goes, you guys need to check out RTS. They've helped us build our website, rebuild our website, revamp our website. They've helped us apply for our 501c. They will hold your hand through the entire process and get you set up for the win. If my Crayon ain't asked to follow along, I'm sure you can too. So head over to ysrts.com and check them out. Get on their books and let them show you what they can do for you.
Cool.
All right, those have been paid. Let's catch up on some comments here because we've been neglecting our studio audience, or well, our live audience.
Yeah, there's no studio.
For those who were asking, the link for the book is in the comments. You can scroll up and see that.
We've also put the promo code up too.
Okay, the promo code for Mesa is in the comments as well. You've got the link for the book scrolling across the screen, and you'll get the QR code back up here in a little bit.
Thank you, Thea, for putting that. I was sitting there searching for it for the Meza link to put in the comments. Before we get back to it, I want to do. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I thought you were done.
No,
You paused too long.
I got to see where we're at. So Theo asked, what advice do you have for someone who wants to write and publish books? I asked because there are 2 stories I want to tell.
Oh. I thought he was going to say the stories were.
Now, I'm not seeing them yet. I'm going to guess I guess at least one of them is about one of his ex-wives.
That's where my money would go.
Any advice for someone who's looking to write a book?
You just got to sit down and write it. I mean, you just got to sit down and write and reread it and reread it and reread it and give it to somebody you trust and have them read it. To, it's all about feeling. It's like what got me started writing poetry again, since everybody, picked on me for writing it to start with, was writing that poem about crayons for you guys.
Yeah.
It just popped right into my head. You know what I mean? And it only took a couple minutes to think about it, come up with it, and then bam, there it was. And I'm like, if I can do that, I can sit down and write, all day.
And you told me that because I asked you, but I asked you that personally because Theo's amazing. He's pushing us. He's constantly pushing us and giving us amazing ideas of way to keep branding ourselves and putting ourselves out there. And he came up with this amazing idea of doing a crayon book, and part of it's telling our story, but in a funny way. It's like an adult crayon book, coloring book, and it's like I keep stalling on it. I'm overthinking it, I think, and I'm trying to figure out what story do I want to tell, or this or that. And when I talked to you, you were like, just write, just sit down and do it. If I write 10 stories and only pick one, that's still great. I got somewhere.
Mike Calabrese said hello.
Hi, Mike.
Going back to the one comment you made there, violent by trade, your next tattoo. Lorianne Terry Frisbee stopped and said hello. Hi, Lorianne. Mark Doc Abram. Don't know how long I can stay. Don't know how long I can stay with. I had a couple hatchlings up on the ship, and I've got to file paperwork. Believe it or not, because they're protected birds.
Oh, wow.
Gotta love this place.
You gotta love the red tape the government puts us through, I swear.
Beth, I had one thing I wanted to share with you about the writing book. I've got a friend of mine at work. His name is Tim Allen, not to be confused with the comedian, but he's a super good guy. And he's like definitely the dude I'd want to take with me somewhere if I wanted to negotiate something. Now, if I wanted to go tear something up, I'd call David. But Tim is such a great guy. And, he helps me to, sometimes when I talk to him about different things about what we say and what we do. And, one of the things, kind of an idea that we had bounced back forth about was, words matter.
Yeah.
And, I think about that a lot. And what you have to say, the words that you write, those words matter. And, maybe it doesn't mean anything to anybody else but you. But
Yeah.
it's about, it's about, putting yourself out there, telling your story. I mean, even as, we could write a book. We really probably should write a book on leadership about, how to lead people, because, I think we've forgotten how to do that. Leadership
Yeah.
is not about standing on somebody's back. It's about, being out in front, being willing to take chances and lead, and, accept responsibility when things go wrong. We have a horrible time doing that. Taking
Yes.
responsibility.
Accountability is just
Just,
unaccounted for.
and even with, and I'm not going to talk politics, but even with politicians, when you, this is going to sound bad, but it's when you cock something up, just own it. Hey, I cocked it up.
Absolutely. I have much more respect when somebody says, oops, my bad, than somebody
Man,
who lies to me and try. Because when they lie, they're so ridiculous. It's like you think I'm too dumb to know the truth. You're
Exactly.
treating me, and
Oh,
that's
we're
how
gonna
I
figure it
feel
out.
when I get lied to.
I mean, it's just, that's it. And, you've got, if you want to be heard, you have to be persistent enough to, to get it out there long enough to be heard. And this
Yeah,
is not about, because we have this bad habit, a horrible habit, really, of the squeaky wheel gets the oil first. And it's
yeah.
like everybody that's got to complain about something. The louder they speak and the louder they scream, me, then, they want to do something for them. So they shut
That
them
and
up.
the angry also it seem to get the most attention, the most hateful,
Exactly.
the most angry. Yeah,
Exactly.
absolutely.
Instead of just saying, yeah, we heard you, shut up. If you had a real problem, we'd be dealing with it. Okay. But what
Right.
sounds like a lot of noise to me. You come back to me with something, you know, legitimate, something reasonable, something I can work with. Give me a real
Uh-huh.
problem. And
Yep.
that's the thing. If you want to get through your emotions, you want to get through your trauma, you want to get through whatever. And everybody's got trauma, but what I'm saying is just, if you want to get, I'm talking about like some serious bad stuff. You get blown up and you
Mhm.
lose a leg. That's bad stuff. You get the crap beat out of you and practically starved to death as a child. That's bad
That's
stuff.
bad. Yeah.
The fact that you didn't get the thing that you really wanted, that you didn't have to have,
Right. That
or
materialistic thing or that new
your mom and
job
dad didn't
or
get you the car that you wanted, or
oh yeah,
the
that's
outfit
special.
you wanted to wear. Okay, you didn't get to stay out as late as you wanted to.
Hmm.
Big fat hairy deal. You'll get over it.
Right.
But people who, really creative people, have stories to tell. And unfortunately, in the world we live in today, everybody gets their jollies by stepping all over everybody else's dreams or whatever. If you
No,
want to be a
I'm
writer,
always going to be the first one that tries to lift others up. Like, I don't
yeah,
want anyone stepping on my neck. I'm not going to step on your neck to get ahead. Like,
that's right.
I feel like the only way we can make differences and or make this a better community for all of us is by working together.
Agreed.
Beating each other up, stabbing each other in the back, the toxicity. Oh, we could go. The list goes on. Just isn't necessary. It really isn't. Like, we all have. Some people don't believe in our brand of humor. I get that. And I respect that, but there are people who heal through laughter. And we have helped people in those dark moments. And you guys have healed people by telling your story. It, it matters. And we all have different ways, but no one veteran is all the same. So one person might need that humor to survive, to keep going, and one person might need that creative outlet of writing to survive and keep going. So
Agreed.
I think there's room for all of us. So I 100% agree with what you're saying, and I
Well,
appreciate you saying that to me about the writing, because you know it just hit when you said you have a story to tell. That was important to me. Thank you.
yep.
I think
Well,
real
if you want to
leadership,
be a
though.
leader, be somebody worth following.
There you
Yes,
go. But
yes, I agree.
there's leadership is, you can't lead with rank.
No,
You
no,
can't run around saying I'm the boss. Who are you trying to convince, you or them? And that's
right?
the thing. If you treat people with courtesy and respect, that that goes a long way. But you got that other part of it. You got to give people tough love and say, hey,
Yeah,
if you screwed up, you screwed up. Now you can either fix it or continue to do the same thing, and then you're going to be gone.
Yes.
That's just the way it worked in every unit I was in. Hey, you don't want to do what you're supposed to? Okay. How do you like New Jersey? You know what I mean? That's just the way I looked at stuff.
That is so true.
I'll send you to Alaska. It doesn't matter to me,
Right?
because you're a liability then in any organization,
Yeah.
And for me, leadership was like, hey, let's do it together. We'll do it together. I'll show you how it's done, and I'll watch you do it. Okay, then we'll do it a couple more times. And once you get a good grasp of whatever we're doing, I'm gonna turn you loose, but I'm gonna watch. But I'm not gonna, lord over you like a hawk or something, because that's not the way I do things.
Right.
And it's like with the writing. Don't try to be somebody that you're not.
Yes.
Be the person that you are. Write the way you feel. Don't write the way that you want other people to feel
Either
about you.
think you feel or make them feel or whatever. Write it from your heart as you from you.
Because the truth doesn't change.
Exactly.
Not ever. I mean,
I love that. I appreciate that.
And the way I described it to people all the time is a lie is like water. You got a bucket of water, throw it on the floor, goes everywhere. It's always changing. It's never going to be the same.
Mm-hmm.
The truth's like a concrete column. Unless you got an engineer come by with some C4 to blow it up, it's going to be there. You know what I mean? And people have to believe and trust in you to come to you with their problems, because nobody wants to come to somebody that's going to, oh, why'd you do that? You're stupid or whatever. You're like, oh man, hey, you know what? I've done the same thing. You're in a hole. I'll jump in the hole with you. We'll drag the dirt in until we can step out of it. That's what real leadership's about. And that is in anything, not just in the military. Mm-hmm. And we're a society that's in between two things. We're in between that. The old guys, the boomers, you got the Gen Xers, and you got the I don't know what the hell they are. Okay. And that those I don't know what the hell they are so entitled that they think, okay.
Yeah. Things are just not the same. Speaking of being entitled, okay, or your generations being different. The last time you guys were on, we had another host with us, Lex. Lex is also gone off and started his own show as well. We're all just growing, and Theo is amazing producing all of these shows. Mm-hmm. But in honor of Lex, I have an Ask Jody question. Speaking of Lex's show, Mental Warrior 22, you can catch him on Thursday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 Central. And catch him live on Facebook, Instagram. He's on all the platforms. Again, Mental Warrior 22. But in honor of him, I have an Ask Jody question. My question is, if you're dating for over a year, you talk every day, and so forth, is it disrespectful or rude or inappropriate or whatever you want to call it to break up over a text message? Is that acceptable or not acceptable? I need everybody to answer, and I want to hear what our audience thinks, because I'm really trying to figure out if I'm just in the wrong generation, that if I'm that old mom who's like really pissed off that somebody texted her daughter and broke up with her after a year. And then I got into an argument with a 14-year-old. Like, that was annoying. I want to hear everybody's opinion on this.
I've got to have some clarification. Is it the girl breaking up with a boy over text message, or is it
he broke up with my daughter. He broke up with my daughter over a text message. They've been dating for a year. They don't see each other as often because they're in different schools. One's in 8th grade and one's in 9th grade.
So
you
maybe
know,
he
so they
disappeared.
don't get to see each other, but this coming year they're going to be in the same school. And all I said to my daughter is, I thought that was rude. I thought that was disrespectful. I feel like you had deserved at least a phone call, especially since you were best friends for years. You started dating for the last almost 2 years. You deserved a phone call. And she ended up telling him. So then I get on the phone and I'm arguing with him. And I'm like, I'm not going to argue with a 14-year-old. It was disrespectful, and that's the end of it. Then I had to talk to the mother, and
Well,
she agreed.
let me just say this about that, okay? They're children. They do childish.
Right.
So,
Well,
you
and
know,
I get that, but as the parent of the daughter, I'm talking to her personally. It wasn't my fault. She went and ran and told them, and brought me into the middle of it. But I was trying to comfort her, and I said, I'm sorry. I think that was rude, and I don't think you deserve that. You deserve better. I think we should just teach our daughters that their worth is, up here, not down here, and to expect more. And, this is your sign to move on.
Yeah, I mean, obviously for 21 years now, I haven't had to worry about it. But even
We just
prior
didn't know if
to
it
that,
was us.
even prior to that, as far as before we got married, former friends with benefits, booty calls, whatever you wanted to call them.
Yeah,
Even
those
them,
are okay. Text them.
even those short-term flings or whatever, as far as it goes, got a phone call saying, "Hey, look, this just isn't working out anymore," or something. I couldn't imagine doing it through a text.
Yeah,
Personally.
I did Google it. Google agreed with me. I just want to add, it
I
said
just-
unless you're in danger or your life or something else, or it could be harmful to you or the other person, is it acceptable, and or if it's short-term relationships. So Google did agree with me.
You know what? No one should ever let anybody assign their value.
Exactly.
So looking at the comments, Mike Calabrese, going back before the question as far as
okay.
the breakup text, said that he's ready for the sequel.
It sounds
I
like
love it.
Shannon answering the question, Shannon Jameson said, "I don't think it's right."
Thank you,
it's
Shannon.
not.
Mike Calabrese said, "Never acceptable. You had the balls to ask them out, have the balls to break up by face to face, being an adult."
Yeah. I mean, the mom did agree with me, and I said, if it was you or your child, would you not feel the same way? And she said she would, and she understood where I was coming from. And she's like, they think the kid thought I hated them or something. I was like, I don't hate them. I don't like what they did, and I told them several times that I love them. I don't hate them, whatever. I just don't like it. I didn't like it, and I'm not going to apologize for that.
You should never apologize for defending your child, ever.
Yeah. But I mean, I just had to know. So Lex was always doing our relationship questions on Smoking and Joking, which is coming back, I think, either this week or next week. So I'm really excited to start watching what they're going to be doing. Speaking of Smoking and Joking, one more shout out to DeMarcus Reed's son.
Oh yeah.
He was a draft pick for the Raiders, so he's going to be a Raiders next year.
awesome.
And it's going to be Raider Nation all over this place.
For those of you who don't know, DeMarcus Reed was the original,
Yes.
the original host, like day one host of the Smoking
Yeah.
and Joking show.
Okay.
He
Also
started
one of our-
this. He started
one of
the
our-
whole thing.
One of our fellow magnificent bastards.
Uh-huh.
For those of us that were in 2-4. So his son is now going to be a Raider.
That's amazing. Now I actually have a football team I can cheer on, and I'm so excited that I love the colors, black and white. Totally my
See,
thing.
I know a guy whose son is getting,
I can say one thing about
of separation down to like 2 degrees.
Yeah, so I'm really excited for him. He's put in hard work, and I'm sure this is a proud papa moment for Demarcus for sure. So
Awesome.
Theo, going back to answering the question real quick, Theo did say that it's only okay if you have laryngitis.
exactly, she did not.
She said if you're going to break up by a text message, then maybe the relationship wasn't the best. By text is cowardly on his part. She deserves better.
Yes.
I would agree.
I'm not a meddling mom. I'm assuming they had a very good relationship. They were always on the freaking phone, and they weren't arguing because they were always on speakerphone, which drove me crazy. So, but I was like, I don't need to know all this. But yeah, so it's the text that I just don't have any feelings for you anymore, which is fine. You can feel that way.
Damn.
All right.
But it was harsh.
Our time is almost up. I do want to throw one 20-second commercial out there and say for those of you who enjoy our particular brand of humor, join us on Facebook at Crayon Eaters 1775. Your military humor, your dark, your inappropriate, your explicit is what you're going to find. We believe in healing through laughter, so we're going to do our best to make you spit your coffee out every morning, keep you from going to different places. We do like to intermix some positive stuff in there with Motorcycle Mondays and Tantrum Tuesdays, Pet Therapy Thursdays, Selfie Saturdays, which surprisingly is very popular with our veterans.
And so is Pet Therapy.
We've got some of our own gear. We're raising money to get a bike fixed up so that we can give it away to a veteran or first responder.
Oh, next show we're going to have.
Second, let me finish this commercial, please. So if you'd like to check out some of our gear and help support us and our mission in trying to get this bike to a veteran, you can head over to cw1775.org, click on shop. We've got some great t-shirts, hoodies, zip-up hoodies, ball caps, trucker hats. We've got a cool little flask on there. If you don't want to buy anything, you can click on the donate button, and there's a drop-down menu. You can select exactly which program you would like to donate for. It'd be a motorcycle. We've got a dog that we're going to be giving away to a veteran to help with being a companion, or art supplies for those who use some form of art as their version of therapy.
Yes.
So any love and support you want to show would be greatly appreciated. All right, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. I just was like,
Oh.
I'm so excited to tell the news. I wasn't, yeah.
Well, we should have some great news for you as far as that goes, and we'll tell you when you'll be able to hear that at the end of the show. But before we
We're at
officially
pretty much
log
at the end
off,
of the show.
huh?
We're just going to remind that we're pretty much at the end of the show because now it's their turn.
She
We've
likes
been
to interrupt
married for
when I'm
20
actually
years.
about to say what she wants me to say anyway. So.
We haven't been married for 20 years.
One more time, give everybody the rundown where they can find Void Runner, and tell them about the book and where they can find it, how they show you guys some love and support.
Read our book, Void Runner. It'll change your life. Just kidding. Probably won't. But it's available on Amazon.com. It's also available at Walmart.com or Instaspark. You can get it sent to your home. Just print it out there. There it is up on the screen. It was a great joy to write it. Started writing a new one already. So
awesome.
Super about that. And we've also got a few other novels that are going to come out in the Void Runner universe. We got a little spicy thing with a detective novel with an investigator with an AI partner and a serial killer who's got an AI partner too in the Void Runner universe, and some other things which came from the dark and demented mind of my brother James.
Awesome.
That is awesome. I do have one quick question on whether it be future plans with Void Runner, future plans with any of the other books that you guys are working on as far as it goes. Being one who, with my TBI and the visual issues I have when it comes to reading, I don't read as much as I used to in the traditional sense. I do have a subscription to Audible, though, and I listen to books like
nonstop.
Whenever I'm in the truck. I don't listen to the radio anymore in any way, shape, or form. I'm always listening to books. Do you guys have any plans on having them converted into audiobooks at all?
It's coming.
Okay.
Outstanding.
Let us know. We'll definitely start that because that's his favorite way to read and unwind, and whether it's
when I'm driving, when I'm needing to unwind around the house, when I'm cooking, when I'm out mowing the lawn, I've got the earpiece in and I'm constantly listening
Yeah.
to something. So,
all right.
alrighty. I guess that's us for tonight. We've hit our mark. So
Also, next week we are moving our time from Sunday to Tuesday. I just didn't want you to say goodbye before I said this. Sunday to Tuesday. With us having a new show, we're still kind of working out the kinks and seeing where the best timing is. And so we're going to move to Tuesday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern. We still like this time, so we're going to keep that. But please check us out.
Tuesday, May 4th.
May 4th.
Okay.
All right, guys. Thank you for joining us on the. Thank you for joining us here on Crayon Box Confessions.
He's smoking a joke and sees not just me.
We love you guys and hope to see you on May 4th.
Bye, guys. We love you.
All right, bye.
Thank y'all.
Thanks. Whoa.